Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, you are welcome to Yvonne's Easy Life Hacks. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some Conlog Prepaid meter error codes, icons, and what they mean. These are error codes I have not covered in previous videos. In case you don't know, I have a prepaid meter related playlist on this channel, so it's called Prepaid Meter Matters. I'm also going to link that underneath this video, so if you have challenges with your prepaid meter, just click on that playlist. It will take you to the playlist, and then you can just go through the videos and see which of the videos best answers your questions. Okay, now if you want to see the new error codes I'm going to be addressing in this video, then please keep on watching and don't forget to subscribe. It only takes 1 second. So guys, the very first error message that people would typically see on their prepaid meter keypad is this one right here called RF con. Okay, so what that RF con code means is that the interface cannot connect with the meter. It's just simple. That's just what it means. Interface cannot connect or cannot communicate with the meter. In other words, electricity is off and power does not get to the meter. Okay, in simple words, it just means there is no electricity. So more often than not, when there is no power in your area, you see that RF con code. Once you see that RF con code, it means that lights not there, no electricity, no power. Even if the current is very low, it will still show RF con, no power. And as soon as power comes back on, you will see that RF con code will just go out, and then you'll see your remaining units showing. So whenever you look at your prepaid meter keypad when there is no power, you see RF con. So what can cause this RF con code to show? It can either be a loss of phase from the transformer, or maybe a loose connection on the meter mounted in the pole or something. So there is really no problem with this. You just wait for power to come back on, and if power comes back on and all your neighbors, everybody has lights, has power, even those on the same line as you, then you can go get a technician from your electricity distribution company to come check it out if there is a loose connection, and it can be rectified that way. The second error code that you could see is this one right here, a hand holding a card. What does that error code or icon mean? What it means is that your units are finished, are in a negative, or are about to get finished. Sometimes you can see that that hand with the card shows when you have like maybe 1 unit left, less than 0 point something units left. It can also show when your units have entered into the negative. And so what that is telling you is your unit is either finished, has entered into the negative, or is about to get finished. So that is just showing you that you have to recharge. In that case, you simply just have to go to your accredited electricity distribution company agent, or go to Buy Power platform and just input your prepaid meter number and get electricity token, and then you input it, and that is all that error message means. The third error code you might see is this one right here, a spanner and that same hand holding a card. Now this will typically appear where you have enough units. You know, in the last point we said maybe 1 or less than 1, or this one you have enough units. You might even have like 80, 70, 100, 1 something units, and then that hand is showing together with that spanner. It happened to me a while back, and I was just like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. I had over 50 units, and I was like, it didn't mean anything. And after some time, power just went off in my apartment. Now I checked my prepaid meter keypad. The number of units I had were still showing on the screen. It wasn't showing RF con. The number of units I had at the point was still showing on the screen, and then there was just this blinking hand with that spanner stationary symbol on the screen. And so I was like, what is going on? I went to the office of our electricity distribution company here in Asaba, and I complained to them. And what they told me to do was to go and get electricity units of about 10,000 naira at the time, nothing less than 10,000 naira. They said it has to be at least 10,000 naira upwards, and then I should wait for power to go off. So I went, I got the units of 10,000 naira, came back home and waited for power to go off in the, like, for power to go off now, like there's no light in the neighborhood or the area. And then as soon as electricity comes back on, I should quickly insert the electricity token, which I did, and it worked. And so I remember I got that of 10,000 naira. I had to wait till power went off and came back, or maybe there was something was supposed to reset. They didn't do anything from their end for me. I wasn't given any code or anything, but I was told to recharge at least a minimum amount of 10,000 naira, which I did. So if you are experiencing this as well, I would suggest you do that. Recharge at least a minimum of 10,000 naira and wait for power to go off and come back on, and then impute it and see. And if you do this and it doesn't work, then you have to now physically look for the closest office of your electricity distribution company, the office closest to you, and go lay a complaint, tell them what you already did and it didn't work, and then they'll be able to guide you better. The fourth error message or icon you would always see is this spanner symbol. This spanner symbol. Now we've mentioned previously the spanner symbol and the blinking hand, what it means. You can also see the spanner symbol and negative reading. You can see the spanner symbol and a flash lightning bolt. See, this spanner symbol, what does it mean? Sometimes you can see only the spanner symbol. The spanner symbol means that something is wrong. There is a problem somewhere that requires immediate attention. Something is wrong. There is a technical issue. There is a problem that needs urgent attention. Okay, so what the spanner means is that there is a technical issue or error that needs urgent attention. It needs immediate attention. And what that spanner means is that there can be one of two faults. There is either a fault in the meter itself, or there is a fault in the meter communication with your electricity network. So the only advice I would give you here is to make sure that you contact your electricity distribution company. They will send a technician, a qualified technician, out to investigate the problem properly and then proffer solutions to the problem or to the issue. Okay, if it's on the meter, they will fix it. They will just exactly know what to do. So you know what, I can sit down here and tell you, okay? But when you see that spanner symbol, there's a problem and it requires immediate attention, so you have to handle it immediately. Another message that people have been sending to me, have been asking me about, I think it's the fifth point. The first time I got it, I just smiled. I was like, you can't be serious. But I responded to the person, and the person was like, oh, it was a lady that she just moved into her apartment. She had never used prepaid meter before. This was her first time. So it occurred to me that yes, you have been using prepaid meter, but not everybody has been using prepaid meter or uses prepaid meter. Okay, so you know, I thought to myself, and I was like, oh, okay, that's good. Not everybody would know what it means. Okay, so what error message or what message or code is not error message, by the way, is this one right here, 20.05 kWh. It can be 30.08 kWh. It can be 200.51 kWh. Okay, it can be any number right there, but you see the number and kWh after it. What does it mean? That is just showing you your current units. You will always see that number whenever there is electricity or power in your house, in your area, just like how you check your code on your phone to see how much credit you have left. That is just an automatic display. It just shows you this is what you have left. And when you reach down to 0.00 kWh, power goes off in the house. That means that there is no power. So don't ever allow it get to 0.00 kWh. Once you see that number, whatever number it is, it just shows you the number of electricity units remaining in your prepaid meter. So that's just what it means. It's not really an error code as such, but for those of you who might get confused and be like, what does this always showing on my keypad, what does it mean? That's just what it means, your electricity units. So you have to monitor it properly, make sure it doesn't get to zero. It's not a problem, you don't have to do anything, there is no problem at all. Okay, so the next error message that you will typically see is this one right here, PPPP. I think this should be like number 6 error message. And what this error message PPPP means is expired decoder key. Expired decoder key. It means that the unique meter key has expired and the meter cannot accept any tokens at all. That means that you cannot recharge. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go to the closest office of your electricity distribution company, and there you will ask for a key change token. They will even give it to you when you get there, a key change token, aka a KCT. Okay, when you are given this key change token, you'll be told to go back home, and when there is power in your house, then you can impute that key change token. More often than not, you'll be asked to also get units that you are going to load immediately after you impute the key change token. You will load the units and then it will resolve itself. Or even the units you got previously that you had not loaded, you just impute the KCT and then you load the units and it will resolve it. The problem will get solved and it will clear up that error message. And the last, I think that's the 7th and the last error message you would see is this one right here, EE. What does it mean? EE means that token processing has failed. You are trying to load your electricity token and you are imputing and you're getting EE. You impute, you get EE. You impute, you get, and you're wondering like, okay, what's going on? Why am I seeing this error message? What it means is token processing has failed, and it occurs when the meter does not accept a token. The token has not been accepted by the meter and the meter cannot process the token due to connection error. This EEE is just mainly due to connection error. So what you are supposed to do, what you're advised to do, you don't have to go to your EDC for this. What you're advised to do is to wait. Be patient, calm down, just go and do other things. And then you wait for some time and then you retry to impute the token. You're also advised to go, if it's for those of you who have your meters mounted on the pole, you're also advised to go within eyesight of the pole, like closer distance to the pole, so that the keypad can connect better with the meter, and then you are going to now retry and it will work. 90% of the time it does work. Now if it doesn't work, it means that there is another issue with your meter itself. That means that you have to go to your EDC at this point, and then they will come and check it out for you and resolve any pending technical issues. Okay, so these are just all the error messages that I think I had not covered previously. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for staying tuned till the end. Once again, if you're having prepaid meter issues, I have a prepaid meter matters playlist in the description box. Go check it out and see which of the videos best answers your problems or best solves your problems. Okay, I will see you in our very next video. I love you guys. Bye.